military's pretty much like boom, 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 training, because we're constantly in training.
Right.
We're always ready for the mission.
Yep.
We're always strategically thinking of what the mission is going to be.
Yeah.
We have to have foresight. Our training is foresight.
Yeah.
Because we have to think about what the enemy is doing. We have to think about our allies. We have to always think about those things.
Yeah.
And so in the military, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, do these steps. You will move up in rank. Do these things. Blah blah blah. And it's interesting because those things don't carry over so much in the civilian, but yet it's such a stress relief when you can do those things. So when you say this is your success guide, it's the same in my training manual that I would receive in the Air Force. I'm like, you're an enlistment. Here's your enlistment training manual. These are the things that you have to accomplish in order to move up in rank.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's a good way to look at it too. And it kind of goes back to, like I mentioned earlier, like creating like that leadership program where it's like almost start with creating a leadership program and then even work backwards and create a success guide. Here's the overall success guide of how you're going to be successful and do well in this company. And now we're going to take it and we're going to silo it and say, here's how you're going to be specifically successful in your position. You're working, media. Here's how you're going to move up as, going from a coordinator to a junior buyer to a planner, all that. Like, here's how to do it. And I think sometimes people just that all comes into the succession.
Yeah,
that all comes back to succession. Put out a plan. It fucking sucks to have to spend the time and do it, but do it.
Do it.
You might have to work outside of those 40 hours that you're, slapping people on the wrist for doing, but you might have to do it on your own time if you don't have the time at work. And make it a joint effort. And I think that's a big thing too, is getting people to buy in and say, yeah, you are HR, but you have 6 different departments across the company. You work and you help everyone have a little bit of buy-in. What great way to sit there and say, I helped contribute to the company by saying, as my position, here's what I do. And here's how I made a company successful, because here's how I helped write our success guides for this specific job. It's getting people to buy in, and I think that's what HR fails a lot of the time to do. They're there to be the policy police, to write it all, do all that sort of stuff, instead of saying, I'm going to go out to the employees, to our clients, and say, hey, help buy in. Help me find out how we can make you successful and future employees successful.
Right.
But they don't do it.
And where HR should come in that moment is if there's a disruption in that succession plan, they hold the leader or situation accountable to that succession plan that is the mission of the organization. And by that I meaning, if you get into that bureaucratic system, it's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and hire Fred and employee who's going to come in, and it's like, well, what about Sally?
Right.
Are you Sally, Fred, and Dan? You could tell I've taken the HR exam, right? So here comes Sally. She's done the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 training, plan. She's ready to go.
Right.
But it's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and bring Fred in, and it needs to be up to HR to be able to say, you are not the policy police. You're the accountability holders.
Right.
So therefore, it's going to be up to me. It's like, hey, Travis, listen. I know you're trying to help out your buddy, Fred, who needs a job, but however, Sally, we need to stick to what our system is and what our succession plan and mission is. But the trouble comes in, it's like, but I'm so worried I'm going to upset Travis. Travis will get over it.
Right.
Travis will be fine.
Right. Exactly.
And that's that fear that they just can't overcome. But it's funny because our training, our first thing that we had to train through was fear.
Yeah.
We had to first train through fear.
Yeah.
To find out who we were as a soldier.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where, almost like saying like that succession, do like the military. If you want to go to this level, you've got to complete this by this time.
Yeah.
This online course. Now you're going to the residence course. Now the next thing, and it helps you control your destiny.
Yeah.
And I think companies just don't do that. And like you said, people want to bring in this outside because we need change and things like that. We need a new look. And I do definitely agree with that to certain levels and certain positions. Absolutely. But if you want to sit here and bring out outside people instead of bringing someone who's been putting 5 years into the company, working their arse off, but haven't been given that opportunity, now you're going to create animosity with them, and then they're going to jump ship.
There's the culture.
Yep.
And there's your culture brand.
And then it's like, bam, they're gone. And that person who knew a lot of stuff.
Right.
And like, they're like, F this, I ain't going to train someone properly because they wouldn't advance me. Why should I help someone else?
It's funny. They would rather spend the money on a new hire
Yeah.
than to put a little bit of that money into the development
Yeah.
of an internal employee.
Right. It's like they think by bringing someone in from the outside, it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. It's spam in a can, like it's so great, But it's like, it's.
Okay, we gotta have a. Okay, there's gonna have to be an HR coffee table or toilet reading book where it's gonna be HRisms by Travis.
Spam in a can. Oh, it's cool.
This is spam in a can policy here.
High in sodium. And I think that's the thing is I think it's great and it's awesome because this person, they work for this company and they help do this and whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's great. But this person over here knows everything. They can learn other things.
Yeah.
You can send them to trainings. You can do all this sort of stuff. And I don't know. It's crazy to me some of the mindsets that they go through.
Yeah.
When they're trying to like make things better or hire new talent. It goes, just change your mindset.
Change your mindset.